Coming up on this episode of SEVA TV, we reduce, reuse, and recycle. Learn about microplastics and investigate a small field fire. Stay tuned for all this and more on SEVA TV.
There's an audience that you can't really show with words on a paper or on a poster, but it's kind of this.
And remember, there's always good news around the corner.
And try not to get frustrated. It gets easier.
Welcome to My DX News. I'm Vanessa and I'll be your host today.
And while that is heating up, you're going to want to lay out all your ingredients.
I have never done a documentary ever in my life, and this is my first documentary.
This is going to be quite the video.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kaser and you're watching SEVA TV. This is the show where we feature educational videos made by student producers all across Sacramento County. We will take a look at some of the best videos submitted to the Student Educational Video Awards, and we'll even take you behind the scenes to talk to the producers themselves. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms that directly affect each other. During the pandemic, Angela conducted a few experiments by creating some ecosystems of her own. The results may surprise you.
Ecosystem, a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environment. A complex network or interconnected system. To examine how ecosystems can survive and function, I decided to create my own ecospheres through closed terrariums. Essentially, I collected samples of rocks, dirt, mud, various types of plants and bugs available, and some water from nature. Then I put what I collected into sealable airtight containers to observe them over a period of 1 month. I walked to Folsom Lake, where I spent the day collecting samples, with locations varying from the shore to where the walking and biking trails were. When assembling these terrariums, it's important to put them in a specific order. The rocks are placed at the bottom of the jars to create a drainage system for excess water. Then, dirt is placed on top. Once the dirt is placed on top of the rocks, various plant samples are put on top of the dirt. Adding in rocks and small pieces of wood are good for allowing things such as moss and bugs to survive and grow. I also created an aquatic terrarium as well, where I took water from the lake and tried to find some aquatic plants to go inside of the jar. Placing the jars in a partially sunny place is important as it needs sunlight to create condensation for the plants to survive. But far too much sunlight can cause the inside of the jar to overheat and practically cook whatever is inside of the jars. For a month I waited and watched over my do-it-yourself terrariums. There were many times where I wondered if anything was going to happen or whether or not anything lived inside of those jars. I was surprised to find that there were surviving environments within the jars. A warning ahead of time. There are images of insects and microorganisms that some viewers may find disturbing. I was astounded to see green algae and tiny microorganisms swimming around in the aquatic terrarium. There were also flying insects that resided on the cap of the jars. Some organisms were simply too small for my camera to focus on, but many were swimming from side to side of the jar when I found them. Here I found a small translucent worm climbing up the walls of the jar. As for my other jars, there were plenty of small bugs that resided on the cap as well, and the small plants that I had put in the jars were still all alive, except for a flower. The first law of ecology states that everything is related to everything else. What an individual organism or thing does within the ecosystem affects all other life forms. In the closed terrariums, the rocks are there to prevent rotting of the soil due to excess water, which allows the plants to thrive within the dirt, which then allows for oxygen to be created so that I wouldn't have to open up the jars. These terrariums are self-sustaining as a real environment is. The bugs are meant to help with any decay, and if there is decay, it would transfer its nutrients into the soil, making a whole cycle. It is a cycle of giving and taking. Each object has a purpose within the ecosystem, and it fulfills this purpose so that there can be a long-term survival. These cycles that are created are why ecosystems are successful. But why can ecosystems fail? A prominent unnatural factor that leads to an ecosystem failing is us. How do we affect the ecosystem? One problem that I kept running into while doing this project was that I found mounds of trash everywhere. It seemed like no matter how much time I spent picking up miscellaneous garbage, more and more seemed to appear. There are plenty of public recycling bins and trash cans for people to dispose of their waste. Even while assembling my jars, I didn't realize that I had mistaken the knot of twigs and fishing line for an aquatic plant. At the end of the month, I went back to the lake, and unsurprisingly, I found more trash. Most of it was plastic and non-biodegradable objects that animals could be mistaken for food. Folsom Lake is open to the public and is a beautiful place to relax and enjoy with the family, but it is also a place where wildlife resides. Although I couldn't pick up all the trash since I was just one person in a small area of almost 18 miles of lake, it still mattered to pick up the trash and correctly dispose of it. We are all a part of one ecosystem, all coexisting under one single sky, on one singular planet. We are all interconnected. Something such as pollution can one day affect every single living thing on this world. What we do matters.
I know you've heard of the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. But I would like to propose a 4th R: repeat. Follow these simple steps and you'll become a waste warrior in no time.
My name is Cassidy. I go to Del Paso Manor Elementary School, and my video is Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle PSA. The video shows the problem and the solution to pollution. I want people to learn that this is a major problem and there is an easy way to solve it. It's just we all have to pitch into it. First, I had to find all the pieces that I was going to use. And then I had to figure out a way to put it all together to where it is very impactful and it touches that feeling that makes you want to do something about it. And my favorite part of making a video has to be editing, because it's really fun and I like putting everything together. And I like rewatching it so that I know where to edit it, and it just is really fun for me. No water, no life. No blue, no green. Water and air, 2 essential fluids on which all life depends, have become global garbage cans. But there is a solution. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. The world is in our hands now. Let's save it. For more information, go to epa.gov/recycle.
Who says you need super strength or invincibility to be a superhero? With great power comes great responsibility. And what's more responsible than recycling? That's right, you can save the world 1 plastic bottle at a time.
Have you ever thought of recycling before? Well, you should. Plastic, glass, and aluminum are a few things you should recycle. I'm going to use paper as an example. You have to cut down trees to make paper. So a forest like this will be a forest like that. And since trees make oxygen, and oxygen is a part of air, humans won't have air. This is only one example of why you should recycle.
Plastic pollution is bad, but what's even worse is a problem you can't easily see. I'm talking about microplastics. I'll let Cole explain what microplastics are.
The name of my video is Microplastics. In my video, I give a brief overview of what microplastics are, why they are bad, and what we can do to avoid putting them out into the environment. I want viewers of my video to learn how bad microplastics are and how they can help address this huge issue. In making my video, I have learned that it is often hard to judge how long it'll take to get certain shots, and that it is always better to start earlier than you think you will need to. Microplastics are plastics less than 5 millimeters in size. They come from plastic litter that is broken down by the environment but never fully dissolved. To be honest, I don't think you need any certain skills to make a good video. I think you just need dedication, experience, and a desire to create something fantastic. When you think of plastic pollution, you might think of large pieces of plastic litter, but the biggest problem is microplastics. Microplastics are plastics less than 5 millimeters in size. They come from plastic litter that is broken down by the environment but never fully dissolved. They are also found as exfoliants in products like soaps. The problem with microplastics is that animals mistake them for food, which harms the animals. Humans can even digest microplastics when we consume animals that have eaten these. So what can we do about this problem? We can reduce our plastic waste, reuse what we can, and recycle the rest. Scan this code to find out more.
Water is a precious resource, and due to climate change, water has become scarce throughout our region in the past decade. That's a problem because we need water to survive. Jackson has a few ways you can help conserve water today.
What happens in my video? Well, what happens is that I go through tips and things you can do to help not use a lot of water throughout the day. I want viewers that watch my video to learn that there are ways to conserve water so that we don't stay in a drought. What the word video means to me is a way someone can express how they feel on something or how they can show something. It helps somebody show a part of them.
You probably already noticed, but we are in a drought. To help, do these steps. 1. Do full loads of laundry. 2. Do full loads in the dishwasher. 3. Don't leave the sink on while brushing your teeth. 4. Turn your sprinklers on at night. Every drop counts. For more information, go to water.ca.gov.
Sewer maintenance can be a costly and time-consuming repair, but the good news is that it's avoidable. Rochelle shows us what to do with our wipes to keep those pipes clean.
The name of my video is No Wipes in the Pipes. My video highlights the damage that flushing wipes down the toilet can have on the community environment and the Sacramento area sewer district specifically. And I hope that anyone sees my video realizes just how important it is to trash all wipes, whether they are labeled as flushable or not, because it can be really damaging to our environment.
Wipes, rags, and paper towels back up the pipes, causing an increase in sewer maintenance, which means an increase in operational cost for the Sacramento area sewer district.
Filming the video was my personal favorite part because I got to see my idea and concept come to life as I put my shots together, and I felt that I got to be most creative with that part, which I really enjoyed. I produced this entirely on my own, and I'm really proud of how it came out, and I was really happy with how much work I put into this video.
Every day, people flush inappropriate items down the toilet, clogging their local sewer system. Wipes, rags, and paper towels back up the pipes, causing an increase in sewer maintenance, which means an increase in operational cost for the Sacramento area sewer district. All wipes, even those labeled as flushable, do not break down the way that toilet paper does. Protect your home and do the sewers a favor. When using wipes, trash them, don't flush them. Learn more at www.sacsewer.com.
Fog, which stands for fats, oils, and grease, can clog your drain and also ruin the sewer pipes for the whole community. So be a good neighbor and don't drain the fog.
Pouring fats, grease, and oils, also known as fog, down the drain can clog sewer pipes. It's only a matter of time before these blocks cause major sewer backups and overflow in your house and on our streets. Instead of resulting in property damage and increased maintenance, this problem is easy to fix. After cooking, don't pour it. Take the excess fog and can it, scrape it, and trash it. For more information, go to secctv.com.
If there's something strange in your sewer pipes, who are you gonna call? Ghost bust? Just kidding. You should probably call the Sacramento area sewer district. They'll know what to do. But first, watch this PSA to find out more.
The Sac Sewer PSA is really about informing homeowners on what to do if they are experiencing a sewer problem, whether or not they should have a plumber come check it out, or if it's the city's responsibility. Due to the pandemic, it was really interesting having to tackle every single job by myself. I mean, filming, gathering clips from the internet, doing the research, editing. But this year, because of COVID, that all changed. And so I had to do all the work myself, asking family members, hey, can you help me with this? Or hey, can you act in this PSA. The most important skill to make a video is patience.
Sewers, a complex system of piping running underneath your neighborhood. You don't think much about the sewer and its piping, unless there is a problem. When SASD's customers have a sewer problem, they should call them first, day or night, 24/7. A crew will come out to assess the problem and determine if it's the owner's responsibility or the SASD's. So you don't have to think about your sewer issue again. Learn more at sacksewer.com.
With hotter weather and high winds, dry brush is at great risk of catching fire due to downed telephone and power lines. For more on this, we turn to Ashlyn, reporting from the site of a field fire. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
This is Ashlyn reporting live from Spartan TV. Today, near Rayleigh's in the Sunrise Shopping Center, there was a fire that occurred at 12:25 p.m. It was a small fire located behind Walgreens. It burned all right here, if you can see the ashes. It also, today the news said that there was a red flag warning because it's super windy and super hot outside. Thankfully, the firefighters who put the fire out were able to get it out quickly before it spreaded fast because of the wind. They got it out quickly and left the scene quickly, as you can see their footsteps here. This is Ashlyn reporting live from the Sunrise Shopping Center near a fire that burned.
Plants are like pets. They need to be cared for and given lots of attention. There's a lot of responsibility involved for caring for a plant. But if you're successful, there's also a lot you can learn from the process. Lisa and Lily shared their different experiences caring for identical plants.
My name is Lisa.
My name is Lily Scarborough.
I go to Katherine Albiani Middle School.
My SEVA video is called Love Shapes Growth.
Our video compares two plants. Lily's plant was treated with kindness, my plant was treated with ignorance. In the end, my plant dies and I'm not happy with that result.
We want people to watch our video and learn to always treat people with kindness and love.
Our actions have an effect on our peers, and if we want someone or something to prosper, we need to treat it with love and kindness.
You're so right. I don't know how I didn't notice it was my fault. I should have been more caring and respectful toward my plant.
The steps we went through while making our video were pretty basic. Come up with an idea and put it into action. My favorite part was definitely coming up with the idea, because while trying to make the video plan best as possible, we got to be creative and have fun with it.
My favorite part in the process was when we got to see the finished product for the first time.
For my video, I learned that even though I can't meet my crush in person or have access to other materials like a studio and an actual camera, I can still make a good video to help inform people to be kind.
There are many different ways in making videos, and there's no real limit on your creativity when it comes to how you can make them.
Hey, honey. Such a needy plant. What's up, Henry? There you go. Hey, Henry. Such a good plant. I love you so much. It's dying already? You're so useless and good for nothing. It's all your fault. Hello?
Yo, Lisa, it's not the plant's fault. See how you treated your plant versus how I treated mine. Over time, with the neglect and lack of care, your plant died. Plants need kindness and love to grow. Without it, they won't survive. Your plant could have lived, but you chose to ignore it from the start. Look at it this way. Caring for humans is a priority. And if you care about your peers, you put in efforts to be respectful and kind to them. So if you want your plant to do well, you could have applied in these efforts to support its needs. The amount of time and love you invest in your priorities will positively influence its success and growth.
You're so right. I don't know how I didn't notice it was my fault. I should have been more caring and respectful toward my plant. I should work on my kindness. Come on, Clementine, let's get you some water.
At the rate we're going, the Earth will continue to heat up and regions that once had an abundance of seasonal snowfall may dry out, leaving generations of kids without snow. Just take a look at the excitement these two LEGO kids get from their very own magic snowman. There are many different ways you can care for the environment. One way is to maintain the lawn around your house so it doesn't become overgrown, and make sure not to overwater it. Wesley happens to be an expert lawnmower, so watch what he does while practicing safety.
Hi, I'm Wesley and I go to Sunrise Elementary. And my video is how to safely mow a lawn. I want people to learn how to safely mow a lawn so when they want to or they have a job to, they safely know how to. My favorite part of making the video is when I run and say yeet when I threw the toys over the fence into our playground. I also have to make sure no toys are on the lawn. Yeet! Video creation means to me that people think of creative ideas, they learn how to edit, and they learn how to make the videos better. I think that the videos are funny, they respect the community and respect the people and show how great Sunrise Elementary is. Time to mow the lawn. Make sure your feet are protected with proper footwear. Before I start, I have to clear the lawn of dog droppings. Yuck! I also have to make sure no toys are on the lawn. Yeet! Grab your lawnmower from the shed. Undo the handle screws to put the handle in place. Make sure you tighten the screw down. Check the oil and gas on your lawnmower. Ask a parent to help you or teach you. You need an oil rag and pliers. Find the oil stick and then loosen it with the pliers. Grab your rag and grab the oil stick out and check the oil. Do you see those X's right there? When they're full of oil, that means it's full. Let's check again to make sure. Fully X's. Once you've checked the oil, put the cap back on and turn it. There. Now, check the gas. This is the part where you need a parent to help you. Ask a parent to help you fill it up with gas. It could get messy. Now we take our lawnmower to the starting point on the lawn. Before you start the engine, make sure to turn on the choke and the gas. Using the pull string, pull really hard and the lawnmower will start. Push the lawnmower with both hands. Make sure you walk and don't run. When you get to the end of the lawn, pull the front wheels up and turn the lawnmower 180 degrees. Try your best to follow the cut lawn line you create. Take your time and you will have a perfectly cut lawn. That's how you safely mow a lawn.
Excessive heat isn't just bad for the environment, it's bad for people too. If you find yourself trapped in a hot car, don't panic. Remain calm and follow Kevin's instructions to free yourself or signal for help. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of SEVA TV. Thank you for joining us, and remember, if you'd like to see more student videos or find out how you can enter the SEVAs, check out our website at secctv.org. I'm Kaser, and thanks for watching.